Alright, another video on the 3DS, because it's fun. I'm trying to position myself to where like the blurry spot is like here-ish, and not in my face, so you can still see my face. I don't know, I'll figure it out eventually. Um, but yeah, so today I guess I just want to talk a little bit about something I've been thinking about, just kind of in the broader context of this like kind of tech philosophy I'm like kind of developing, just in terms of like how I want to use technology, um, and what technology I want to use. Because something I want to avoid with this whole like rethinking is just like I want to make sure it's not like rooted in nostalgia, you know? Because I think when I'm recording a video on my 3DS, it can definitely like feel that way. Um, and I don't want that to be the case. Like I don't want to be so stuck in what I was using to make stuff when I was like, 8. I don't want to be so stuck in that I can't move on to something cooler, you know? Or not, maybe not just cooler, but like I want to make new things to be nostalgic for, right? I want to find just new experiences, you know? Um, that's something I've been reflecting on for a while now. And I think it definitely applies to this, because I feel like it's very easy to, when you're in this process of like, oh, modern tech has all these problems. We've got to go back to the olden days. I feel it's very easy to fall into that, instead of seeing like what are the good alternatives now that exist. Um, you know, like for example, I mean, let's take music. Okay, you could say go back and all right, I'm going to completely quit streaming, and I'm going to just go back to like using maybe I should have thought this example through more. I think music's actually not a great example for this, but I'm gonna keep with it. Like, oh, we gotta like just like go back to like buying like old CDs, I guess, right? When it's like, oh, but there's like you can buy like new CDs, or you can like I don't know, maybe not a great example. Maybe I can think of a better one. Maybe being like, oh yeah, digital games suck. No more digital at all. When there are, I think, some pretty good options to get digital games now. If you're concerned with like the copyright issues or whatever. But that's it. I still think it's good to like use like old technologies for this kind of stuff. Because I mean, I'm filming this on a 3DS. I very clearly still incorporate these old technologies into my life. But I'm doing this almost more for just uh, the quality of the camera. Like I think there's so much more personality you can get from like an old camera, um, versus what you get on like a phone. Because even on like my phone or my iPad, it's like I can reduce the resolution only so much. Um, but yeah, so I don't know. It's a weird balance I'm trying to find. And eventually, I would like to get like just a solid like little digital camera. Um, but that costs money. That is the one thing. That's the one caveat. And I want to be careful with the way I'm thinking about all this, because like I don't want it to be like rooted in this like almost like consumerism of like, all right, this big purchase was bad, so now I'm going to make a bunch of other purchases, and that will fix my problem. Like that feels kind of lame. I feel like there definitely has got to be a way to make this work, even if it's not ideal. I don't know. Because like there's this whole thing where I don't like feeling like I'm fighting against my device. You know, I don't want to feel like I'm fighting technology to make it work for me. And I kind of feel that way sometimes with modern phones or whatever. But at the same time, I think you do still like can feel good to like fight against your tech. Um, I think there's definitely an argument there. I could say because I mean I've used this iPad as my main computer for years. Um, and they're not really good at doing that. Like you can do it, but it's not ideal. And there is almost this sense of like pride in going against the grain and using a tablet as your main computer. Like like that's cool. Like that, it felt cool to me, and it still feels cool. Um, and so, there's a caveat to that whole concept of like fighting the device, because I definitely at times felt like I was fighting that iPad as well, like when trying to use it as like my main computer. So yeah, I don't know. There's just some thoughts. I feel like once as I do this more and more, it's just becoming like a public like journal. It's just like a little like, hey, here's something I'm thinking about today. Because I definitely am the kind of person where I just have like these little like internal monologues going on all the time, and there's always like something I'm thinking through. Um, and yeah, I guess that's just it today. I don't know, maybe keep rambling more, or I could go like write about it, like journal about it, and probably come to more thought out conclusions. Eventually, I think I'll definitely write like a blog post about this and like actually give some, I guess, more like thought out and like concrete ideas, because like this is very much so just me just like rolling through junk in my mind. Um, so yeah, all right, that's the video. See you guys next time.